When they do this lickly spit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you ready? Going to get an up-close view on what happens super fast many times during the race. But this time I want to introduce Johnny Knotts. He's been with IMSA for 24 years. He's out of Lakeland. Right now he's the senior pit lane supervisor for IMSA, making sure these guys do everything right and stay safe. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll turn it over to him. He'll be able to explain in a lot more detail. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Knotts.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate everybody walking back and joining us. Before we get started with the pit stop, I just want to talk a few things about the team. As you can see Tarasi written on the car. They're basically been with IMSA for 3 years. They run IMSA Ferrari Challenge for many years. But we're going to talk about the funding of this car. It comes from J.G. Wentworth. And by chance and luck, my friends are here with me from J.G. Wentworth. Randy Solari, which is standing right over there by the American flag. And where's my dear friend Sheena Monk? Sheena, would you come out here with me, please? Here comes Sheena. As you heard me say earlier, Sheena is one of the drivers for this car. And I'm going to let Sheena speak just for a few moments about J.G. Wentworth and this car. There you go.
I think Johnny's expecting me to sing the jingle right now, but I'm not going to do that for anybody. My name is Sheena Monk. I'm the driver of the 021 J.G. Wentworth Ferrari 296 GT3. I've been in the IMSA WeatherTech series in the GTD class. This is my 3rd year, and J.G. Wentworth has actually allowed me the opportunity over the last 7 years to climb the ladder through IMSA. So we're very grateful to them. I started in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo series, which will be at the race this weekend. They run 2 races, and then I was also in the GT4 class, the Michelin Pilot Challenge. So drove 3 different cars in that series, and again, they've allowed me to graduate now into WeatherTech. So thank you to them for that great progression. My co-driver Stephen McAleer, he's right over here, so hopefully he can say a few words.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Stephen escape this, so I got to give him the microphone, so here you go.
Hello there, everyone. You can tell from the accent I'm the Scottish flag on the side of the car, so I do live in New York, so not as exciting, but thanks a lot for coming out. You know, what a cool car to support. We tested here a few weeks ago, and you know, we feel we have a good chance for this. I finished 2nd at the Sebring 12-hour a few years ago with Mike Skeen, who's our 3rd driver, who's not here today. And you know, obviously the goal is to go one step higher, see if we can get Sheena, you know, a big result this weekend. So yeah, for our birthday's on Sunday.
Happy birthday!
How old are you? 19. Yeah, so again, really excited to see everyone here. A great car to support. You'll see us out. We're not on the track tomorrow, but we have 3 sessions the following day. And if you've not been to Sebring for the 12-hour before, one of the coolest things you'll ever see is night practice. So make sure you're there for night practice. The cars look like they're going twice as fast, and when we're sitting in the cockpit, it certainly feels like that as well. So, yeah, thank you guys.
A round of applause. That was actually a special treat for them to join us out there. So, Sheena, thank you very much for being here, and Stephen, thank you also. So, if you were listening earlier in the evening when we first did the first one, we talked about a couple of pit lane rules that we look at. One is the crew members can't jump down on the ground before the car comes to a complete stop. I want to picture something this. So, look how big this car is, all right? At Rolex, 20-foot pit boxes. Here's 21. So imagine how hard it is for the drivers coming down pit lane to properly park this car in front of their pit box. If you are at the race or watch us on TV, a lot of times you'll see red tape. That's our IMSA pit lane stickers. That's where they have to park. If they overshoot their pit box, start working on their car, that's an infraction. The other infraction I like to talk about, which is sometimes quite dangerous, is what we call a wheel spin. If you'll see, the car is going to be lifted up on air jacks. This normally happens between driver changes. What do I mean by a wheel spin? This is a rear wheel drive car. For some reason or by accident, the outgoing driver, ingoing driver accidentally hits the gas. This wheel is going to spin wild. Imagine if you're a crew member, have your hand on that. Nothing good's going to come from that. So me and my staff, and I have to say half of my staff of 13 are females, so any of the females and young girls that want to come work in racing, there's opportunities there. We've been doing this for quite some time, so we're getting ready to do the next pit stop. So remember, 4 crew members, you're not seeing the refueler. 3 crew members changing the tires. There's also a driver assistant that's getting the incoming driver or outcoming driver assisting. Also a fire bottle. So there's quite a few people out here. That's what the officials are looking at. And I have to say this about IMSA. We are the only series in the world that has 19 different manufacturers. No other series comes close to that. So what you're seeing, in my opinion, is the best sports car racing in the world, and I'm sure everybody on the team will agree with it. So here we go. We're going to count down. You're going to see this coordinated. It's almost like an orchestra, how they change tires. Remember, fuel's going into the car, fire bottle operator, and also a driver change is going on. We have 2 hours left in the race. They're in the lead. Can they do a good pit stop to keep that lead? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Cars in the pit box. It is stopped. They have jumped over the wall. You can see them. The car's lifted up in the air. Changing tires. There's also a driver change going on right now. You can see tires going back. Remember what I said about a wheel spin? If something happened to this wheel, everybody's properly attired. They're doing a good pit stop. Almost clear. Almost clear. That's a pit stop. So, once again, I use the 12 hours, which, as you heard me earlier say, is my favorite race. But imagine the Rolex. You're up all night. You're doing this probably 2 times an hour. Imagine what these guys go through. So for the crews, let's give them a round of a hand because they do a lot of work. And Stephen and Sheena, thank you very much for joining me here. We'll do one more, but give the drivers a round of applause. That was a special treat. And once again, promoted by J.G. Wentworth, great program. They really do it right with this car. So make sure if you're not at the race Saturday, watch it on television and you'll know this car. Thank you.
Big round of applause for Johnny Knotts. How about it? If you don't want to watch it on TV, you want to go there and watch it live. There's nothing like it. I've seen it on TV and I've seen it live. Just saying. And remember, some of these guys, there's like a second or less in between these guys. He's talking about being in the lead. A lot of races you've heard are won and lost in the pits. And here's where you see why. These guys stutter for a second, could lose the lead, come in second. A lot of simple things. They drive 12 hours on the track, but the seconds they spend in the pit mean a lot. And also, these cars and these tires are very, very hot when they're doing them on the track. They're nice and cool right now, but imagine the heat of the car, the heat of the tires, the heat of the day. These guys are doing it. So big round of applause for them once again.